Hey, I had to rock my Christmas.
I love
tree
it.
this
I love
morning,
it.
man.
Peanuts.
You know what I'm
Peanuts.
saying?
Snoopy and Charlie.
Gotta be true to myself.
19. I think 19. I think it's 19. We lose track, man.
It's okay.
But
Gotta
Reggie
roll the
Grubb in the
sleeves up
house
on it.
again. We got
Yes.
some interesting topics. He's been spitting fire again on TikTok. I got to just get him in here and have a long form conversation about what he's seeing and what he's concerned about, and bring it to the public here in the New River Valley, and hopefully amplify it across wherever we can amplify it. So
Absolutely.
appreciate you being here, man.
Oh, no doubt. It's an honor. Anytime I have an opportunity to share my insight for people who are on that edge of waking up.
Yeah.
Not everyone is going to see it. Not everyone is going to understand it. And even some people still choose the harsh reality of what's put in front of them to fall back into the illusion. But for the sake of our children and our grandchildren, and for humanity altogether, a very crucial time for us to have a stand-up, speak-out spirit compared to, that never can happen. When you talk to the Jews and you ask them, like, why didn't y'all just leave? We didn't think it could get any worse. That's the tall tale sign, and that's what we're combating. So I want to be able to enlighten and challenge you to change your thought process, and the things that I'm speaking on, fact check me.
Yeah.
Do some research on it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I want you to prove me wrong.
All right. So for the people that didn't see our first episode, you talk about being a light worker. You talk about having visions and how, you don't consume content, you don't watch the news, but you get these visions that are, high power spiritual type things, and then you just talk about them. Tell us about that. Let's just start there again.
Okay. Well, the point that I want to make there is the mission of a light worker. Everybody has a thought process about light workers, and they're welcome to have them, compared to the person that actually endures it.
Yeah.
There's nothing that makes me more special, and it's more of a burden than it is a blessing.
Yeah.
Because you see a world, and then you see the world catching up to the world that you see, but at the same time, you're trying to rationalize and come down to a different dimension where people are, and they're just everyday life. And unfortunately, this is my own family.
Yeah.
This is our friends, or co-workers, whatever. So I have to press pause on all that's in my system.
You kind of have to bottle it up sometimes for the fear of the social anxiety that it might cause if someone actually heard your thoughts.
Yeah, that's there, but the internal pressure of, hey, your soul signed a contract for because humanity's in trouble.
Yeah.
Depopulation. I ain't making this stuff up. Go look at the World Economic Forum.
Yeah.
Go look at what's his name?
There was Elon just put a TikTok out, or a TikTok was put out of Elon talking about there's not enough babies being made.
Right.
There's not enough humans available because everybody's having less kids, and there's actually people, like trying to go after and like shrink the population.
Yeah, there's an agenda amongst these elite families, the Orsinis, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, Morgans, etc. There's an agenda where they've took on the mindset that they're God. And that's only because they've been allotted a tremendous amount of earthly power by none truly than Lucifer. If you look back at the $1 bill, you see the pyramid, and it says, in God we're trust. But they're not talking about the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. They're talking about Moloch. And Moloch in itself demands child sacrifices. How is it that we see now the complete fiat system is crashing? Okay? when we look at J.P. Morgan, I got this down here, so I'm going to go roll out right into it. We got J.P. Morgan, all the white hats that opposed his central banking ended up on the Titanic.
Wow.
And then up, not far after that, we have central banking. We have the creation of Social Security, birth certificates, etc. Where Americans, humans, are used as collateral for these centralized banks. Then all of a sudden you have the creation of we're going to buy U.S. bonds or whatever, and then the banks are having these insurance plans, etc. And the second that Nixon takes the gold standard, what I call they took the standard from God's creation. Gold and silver is something that God created. This is his earth. And they took the standard off of that and they put it under a system of Moloch, a fiat system, where I'm going to charge you, I'm going to give you $100 or I'm going to give you $500 or whatever. It's no longer going to be backed by God's currency.
Yeah.
It's going to be backed by nothing. And I'm going to charge you interest on it. And I call it Rockefeller's Matrix because it's worked for us for a season of our life that it's all that we understand.
Yeah.
But people don't grasp that when they go to the store right now, that dollar that was at one time backed by God's currency, we'll call it gold, you see that the product is nowhere near worth what you're paying for it. So yeah, a dollar's a dollar, but when you buy that bread really should be a 25 cents.
Yeah.
How does that affect the single mothers and the grandmothers raising grandchildren all across America who are not prepared to see this banking system crash?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it seems like the leadership matters, right? So like inflation, 40-year high. Like it seems like they're just pushing us to the cliff that they want us to fall over.
Right. Well, to my understanding, how I see it, and I could be completely wrong, but I think the exposure, how many CEOs stepped down the day the Maxwell case started?
Right.
How many CEOs stepped down?
Yeah. It was a lot.
Yeah. And, I've never been a big Trump guy. I don't hate the man, but I'm just saying I don't see him as my savior. But I would say something that dude pointing at this stuff, it's starting to gain traction.
Yeah.
Like, why are these CEOs getting or top broadcasters having issues with pedophilia and things? Why is this stuff being brought to light? So can I bring it back to the creation of fiat?
Yeah.
What's on the back of that dollar bill? It's a prayer to Moloch. In the Bible, in Leviticus, Moloch demands child sacrifices. We do not even beyond comprehension can wrap our head around the amount of children that have went missing. And why I'm passionate about human trafficking is this. I'm a writer. I have a huge imagination, so let me make it vivid for you. Your child, your grandchild, in a sweaty, hot, smelly, black trailer or container on a ship. You hear the horns, you hear the ocean, you hear men walking about. You can't feel like you're packed in sardines in this trailer. This Epstein Island, that's a real place. Why are they hushing so much content around it? And this is what I want to say. You look at BlackRock and Vanguard, they own all of the TV broadcast stations, all of them. So everything you're seeing, you get on Netflix and you see 1,000 different options or whatever. No. All this is owned by a couple companies. Everything, Sports Center, it doesn't matter. And they are owned and funded by these 3,000 or so globalist elite families.
Yeah.
How does these few amount of people dictate the brain activity of billions of people?
Yeah.
And and some would say the Nazis, they didn't lose. They just shifted their position. They become CEOs and leaders over our broadcasting stations. You got to think of America. We got to think of what's the story, Troy, of how they come in with the big horse, but they're inside of it. How do you defeat something great? You do it from the inside out.
Right. You infiltrate it.
You make like right now, man, it's almost like it's a shame to be a man.
Yeah.
Like, we don't think about this right now. But right now, man, there's some man who's backing he's breaking his back that we have lights right now.
Yeah.
We've lost our gratitude, man. Like it's being a man is shameful.
Yeah. I know.
And then we have China right now. Hey, fact check me on. They got their blockbuster hit movie right now is where they're defeating America.
Yeah, they're trying to train all their men to be more manly because we're training our men to be not so manly.
Right. Whatever you choose to do is what you choose to do. I'm not bagging on that. What I'm saying is there is an intention from all areas to destroy America within. But you've learned a long ways. You've learned a lot from the J.P. Morgan days where you tried to go at it head to head.
Yeah.
Well, he ended up putting you on the Titanic. Like, all his opposers, every person that opposed centralized banking ended up on that ship.
Wow.
So you learn that you have to work in the shadows. Now, whether you want to call that Q or whatever, I'm not really into any of that. But when we look at currency and we look at the fiat currency and we look at how it's tied into Moloch, that's not the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. They're talking back on the money. You see the owl on the back corner. You see the owl in Bohemian Grove. These people worshiping it. You see all the actresses, all the political leaders. They're hiding their hands. They're putting these symbols out. This is high level Freemasonry, and at the top of the Freemasonry chart, they're worshiping nothing but yours truly, Lucifer. And this has probably went on since 1913.
That's wild.
Yeah. So you're seeing a construction of a system. So now they realize that Build Back Better represents Rockefeller's matrix in this new technical industry is no longer going to thrive. They're telling you that the robots are going to outsource our jobs by 2030?
Right.
I mean, I'm not telling you this. Elon's telling you this.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not making this stuff up. They're telling you.
Yeah.
You can see the robots. Domino's has their own delivery cars, no drivers.
Yeah.
This stuff is coming. So this is where we're going to get into that. So the part of being a light worker is to enlighten humanity. You can't trust everything that you see on the television because it's controlled. Even both sides of the narrative, even the narrative that you like, is controlled. Even, guys like Alex, whatever his name is.
Alex Jones?
Yeah. It's a potential that's a controlled narrative.
Gotcha. So what hope do we have? We
have to look within. Love is the key.
Yeah.
Love for humanity is the key for our survival.
How do you identify the the white hats versus the black hats, or I mean, as you call it, but I mean, the good guys versus the bad guys. Like I'm trying. What I want is freedom and no government control. I want opportunity. I want fair play. Mm-hmm. How do you identify the people that are for that? And how do you identify the people that are trying to work, against that and, expand government and take over our personal freedoms and stuff like that? How do you identify that?
I feel like if we are in the era, you take 10, 19, 20-year-olds, and you see somebody on the street and this person's being attacked. 95% of them is going to record it. But the one that says, this is wrong, that's a white hat. And I believe that even in our circles of government, there's people who are posing as black hats who are really white hats. We have to have trust in humanity that that voice, I call it God's voice, that voice that when you go into the grocery store, you're a kid and you see that candy bar and you're like, man, I'm going to go ahead and put this in my pocket. But right when you got to put it in, something's like, man, you shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah.
It's that. That is what is winning. And I believe it's already won.
Gotcha.
But when we look at Carl Schwab, we look at George, what's his name? The billionaire, George
Soros.
When you look at their intentions, they're not hiding it. They'll sit there and tell you
they want global domination.
Yeah. And China once again is the blueprint.
Yep.
Mind you, if you look at the number one movie in China right now, it's a movie about how they're conquering the United States and taking over. Okay, so when we look at their blueprint from a digital space, it's complete and utter control. So a reset to them when they say you will own nothing and you will like it, it means that you're being controlled to no end. And they don't really care about political parties. Their agenda is more sinister. It's complete control. Yeah. It's depopulation, etc. But what they didn't prepare for, this is where we start getting into Fauci. You don't mess with God's DNA. Last time you did it, he flooded the earth. This time, he's changing the whole financial landscape. This is what I believe. I could be completely wrong. The reset is there for them to change, to kill what I call Rockefeller's matrix. How many factories are in America that's thriving like it was back in Rockefeller's day when you see cars are being made and you're seeing industry, roads being built? No, all the jobs are gone, man. Yeah. So when we see the death of this financial system, what does that bode for humanity? It seems hopeless. But in this system of the quantum financial system, human trafficking will not be able to be done.
Right.
Because we'll see crimes against humanity charged. We'll see a reevaluation of gold and silver. We'll see a stronger American than we've ever seen. So when you hear Trump say things like, I think maybe you'll kind of like what's going to happen, there is very strong line hope for me, because I see this new financial system. I know what Ripple XRP is capable of doing. Mm-hmm. I'm seeing now the discussion is, well, you're saying this about us, but Bitcoin and Ethereum, they're not doing that. Like, you're not saying that about them.
Yeah.
And what's happening right now,
everything's crashing.
Boom, 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 boom. It's dropping.
Yeah.
So in my, like I said, man, I feel like I'm a month ahead. Yeah. And I wish I was 3 months ahead.
Yeah.
Because the month ahead, it shows me just enough and frustrates the fire out of me, because I want to be able to say, yo, this right here. Yeah. 2 months ago, I was thinking it was going to be like a bam, hard reset. But now that I feel that the white hats have won, this reset might happen simultaneously.
Right.
But there might be some collateral damage along the way, and that's where we need to get to Fauci. He's lied. He's lied to the American people. How many times?
Every breath he takes, it seems like.
Did you know his name means sickle?
Mm-mm.
What's the Grand Reaper carry? Sickle.
Oh, wow.
When we start talking about New Earth, when we start talking about New Jerusalem, everything, like Lucifer knows the Bible. Like you start looking into programs like Project Bluebeam and things of that nature. Their intention was to fake all of this stuff.
Yeah.
They know how to create something that mimics, like the Bible says you cannot buy, sell, or eat or whatever. They know how to mimic that narrative. So we don't know everything about God that we think we know. You have people saying this is the mark of the beast. You have people saying this, whatever. I've never been shown anything about time. I've never been shown anything about any hardcore things of that nature. All I'm shown is to enlighten people of the switch in this financial era, the evil of human trafficking. You know, picture your child on one of those ships. Just picture it. And all of a sudden, you got some CEO, some broadcaster, some famous singer that we've treated like God or whatever, in a room acting like he's a kid, ready to devour your child. There's a reason why they're that close to Haitian. Like people are saying, oh, yeah, we got all these people on the board. How did these people go from Haitian to Mexico that quick?
Yeah.
I mean, that's not a quick trip. But if you are only watching CNN, if you're only watching Fox, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, I mean, even TikTok's a little bit looser, but I've had 5 videos that's been at 70,000 views, and they all get shut off. Boom. My account gets reset 6 times a day.
Wow.
I probably have like 1 million followers on there.
Yeah.
It gets reset like 5 or 6 times a day, bro.
Wow.
And my content, like this dude's like, man, you just posted this an hour ago. Like you got like 30-some thousand views. He said, and now it's off. And dude, I'm literally sharing. All I'm sharing is real content.
Yeah. You're screen recording or something on a news outlet that they're actually speaking on and then reacting to it.
Right.
And they're shutting that down?
Right.
Wow.
Right.
Wow.
So I think there's a narrative that in people's brain, they want to feel like it has to make sense. And I'm sorry. I really am. I'm not a told you so type person.
Yeah.
You're
just getting you ready type person.
It actually breaks my heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I want to shed light on evil, though.
Yeah.
I want to say, America, be prepared to see hyperinflation. I'm not saying that it's going to happen, but I'm saying it's possible.
Yeah.
I'm saying, China just refused to bail out Evergrande?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Because they had covered their last couple of payments, but they refused. And word has it that they don't have coal or anything. And that, they're telling you war. They're bankrupt. There ain't no money.
Wow.
They're lying. They rose interest rates back in the 80s when this happened.
Yeah.
You got 08. 08, we see the housing market or whatever. That's really when it happened. All you're seeing now is a bunch of tricks to manipulate the system so it doesn't appear as such.
Right.
And while we're seeing inflation at an all-time high, is their bag of tricks is over. So Jerome Powell, he announces tapering of the U.S. bonds, correct?
Yep.
He announces they're going to look into centralized banking, digital currency, and cross-border payments.
Yep.
He's talking about XRP and XLM.
Yep.
Those are HBAR. Those are companies that are fully capable of doing that. And right now they're delisting XRP. They're making it look demonizing it. They're making it look that ugly.
They just had congressional meetings with people in the financial services space to pretty much get educated on it. And those people that they were interviewing was saying that, what is it, the G20? Like a bunch of the G20 are open to this, and the United States is the one that's kind of like restrictive and like uneducated or fearful about it all. So like it's just a matter of time before they do switch it over, and it's in a quantum financial.
Yeah, it has to.
Yeah.
And then you don't even have to be that spiritual about it. I always make sure I listen to people who have did their homework.
Yeah.
Lynette Zhang, bro, when it comes to silver, when it comes to investing into the precious metals, when it comes to understanding the lifespan of currency and so forth, dude, this lady was an eye-opener.
Yeah.
Like, if you listen to her for a good 5 or 6 hours, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I have to check that out.
Yeah, when you listen to her, and she tells you, hey, bro, this thing has a lifespan, like currency in itself. It has a lifespan. So I don't know what kind of galactic rules there are,
Right.
but we're seeing this happen. And the same people are like, yo, I love this infrastructure. You got to be willing. I mean, you excited about seeing it. You got to be willing to be excited about the deconstruction of everything that you love and are attached to.
That you've known.
Right, but how do you change? Like, how do you erase history? You get one generation all jumbled up, and you teach a different narrative to the younger generation. We're seeing our statues and everything being taken down, new ones being put up. You have to realize there's a narrative to change the whole conversation.
Yeah.
For a future, and they're patient. They'll do something, and they'll make a move and wait 200 years to see it happen. And right now, it's up to humanity that we not have a lot of hatred. It's love. It's the love frequency of the earth. It's love that scares them to death.
Right.
Because they can't control it. They can control fear, because what does fear do? It mobilizes you.
Yeah.
But love gives you courage. Love says, hey, you know what? I told my family this. I said, man, when we look at Johnson & Johnson, and now I'm speaking to black people as a whole, we want to do it on our own. But let's look at Johnson & Johnson. Let's look at Campbell's. When we look at Hershey's, we're seeing families. And that's what I was telling them. I was like, man, right now you have an opportunity in the metaverse. Man, let me tell you, Meta VPad, I had to educate myself on all this stuff, because I was like, I'm watching the birth of a whole new thing. And, if it goes south, if I'm wrong, hey, we're screwed, y'all. I'm just being real. Like, their intention is not to bring things back to normal. They're going to lead you on and let you think it's normal, but bit by bit.
Why they keep pushing you down the road they want you to go.
Right. But when we look at the white hats, hey, man, it's just like they're like months ahead of them, and they're falling into their own traps. It literally appears that way. It appears like, if you look at Fauci. Oh, well, we don't wear, I don't think a mask is going to be necessary. Then it's 2. Hey, we're not going to mandate. Then we mandate. Hey, we're not going to do this. Hey, gain of function. It's not. And then you have people stepping up saying, no.
Yeah.
Then you're having Supreme Courts in different states, etc., not bowing to these dictatorship. We have to have a mindset to fight tyranny.
Yeah.
If you're an American, this is the opportunity for you to wake up each day and fight tyranny, because it could be on your doorstep. I'm gonna take it back to the number one movie in China right now is a war movie where they're taking over United States of America. Fact check me. Go look it up. That's the intention, the blueprint of what they want for society. It is digital, but it's complete and utter control of humanity. But this other version of it, see, I didn't think about this. Man, it takes the central bank and makes you your own bank.
Yeah.
And your money is now backed by silver and gold. And you might see a new U.S. Note or whatever. So I got a story to tell you, man. So my mentor was like, Reggie, I don't keep precious metals on me.
Yeah.
I have it stored at a different location. But my mentor told me when they reset this quantum financial system, they're going to reset it to 1963, the economy. It's when, the gold was, but if you took $5 to the bank, they could give you $5 worth of gold. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So economically, that was a strong period of time.
Right.
And then some other things happened during that time as well. So I get to my mentor, another mentor. I got like 8 or 9 mentors, man, because you in order to wine becomes strong because grapes are smashed. They're under pressure. I have to put people around me who have achieved success in this matrix.
Yeah.
Because I can't grow. Like if you are not thinking about doing something impossible, me and you, we're just not going to mesh.
Right.
Right now I'm hitting up producers and everything with my book, Josephine, and on Netflix or whatever. I'm just, if death's going to find me, it's going to find me chasing a mountain of impossibilities.
Right.
I have to have that type of pressure. So I go to my silver mentor, and I'm telling you, you might not be able to find silver anywhere, but my cat, Mr. Randolph,
he finds it.
Tell him how much you want. Tell him how. Just hit me up and say, hey, Reggie, I will, I like to have 1,000 ounces of silver. I was like, all right, let me make a phone call for you. And Mr. Randolph
comes through.
He'll come through. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
So he said, man, Reggie, you've always come in. I see your insight. The first time you bought silver off of me, you was telling me it was spiritual, whatever. He's like, man, everything that you said has kind of just trickled and mushroomed.
Yeah.
He said, I got a gift for you. And he gives me this coin. It's a silver coin, but look what's on the year.
1963.
1963.
Yeah.
I had this conversation, and I was like, yo, that's a sign, man, that I feel good things is on the forecast for humanity.
Wow.
But
cool.
We have to be awake, and and that's why I wanted to do this.
Yeah.
I want to shed light on, look up Vanguard, look up BlackRock.
Yeah.
Look at these companies. Who funds them? Like when you're watching sports, even the narrative in sports, preemptive programming, they're just telling lies to you visually.
Right. And
we have to be able to speak up about those things. So the crypto circuit, it's a volatile. Like right now, I'm like, man, I really love what I see, but
it's very interesting, very compelling. I mean, there's all kinds of people putting money in at low volume and just like going to the moon. They say
there's a lot of rug pulls.
Yeah,
there's a lot of rug pulls. Going in, if you're going into crypto for the first time, right now, I would tell you learn as much about metaverse as you can. So can I take time to tell someone how to make a purchase?
Of course.
All right. So what you want to do is you want to open up a trust wallet. Okay. Trust wallet. Let's say you want Meta Hero. Meta Hero is going to be a beast in the metaverse right now. Okay. But most people, they have no clue on how to get this stuff. So you would go to CoinMarketCap. And you type in, let's say, Meta Hero. It's right there. It's going to tell you a lot of things about MetaHero. And it's going to give you a contract. So you copy that contract number.
Yeah.
You go to Uniswap or PancakeSwap. You buy BNB or you buy Ethereum. Now the Ethereum gas fees are outrageous.
Yeah.
But you buy those, and then you go to you connect your Trust wallet, and you swap it for that coin. So right now, I'm holding MetaHero. I'm holding UFO The Truth. This stuff is like, it's cents. But a company like Alluvium, which is a game.
Yeah.
Alluvium, I think it's maybe $170 a coin right now. But given if you would have bought it before it came out, you would have paid cents for it. Okay, what happens when you have 2,000 of those coins, etc.? This is what I'm trying to teach my family. Yeah. I was like, yo, don't. In the Olympics, during the Olympics back in the day, the reason they said don't rest on your laurels is you didn't get to just chant, I'm an Olympian. You lost all the perks of being an Olympian.
Right.
So they're like, don't rest on your laurels, because if you rest on your laurels, man, somebody else is going to come in and step up and do something that you ain't never did. So when we're looking at the metaverse as a whole, think of this table, bro. Think of this table like the whole landscape, right?
Yeah.
So there's all kind of opportunities. Imagine like being able to buy Manhattan in the 1700s.
Right. Yeah.
And like right here, this is like a major game. And maybe it's stacked this high. And all this digital stuff. There's stores. There's everything inside of this.
Yeah.
Just one section.
Yeah.
Then you have a bank right here.
Yeah.
Then you have like real estate, whole communities, and etc. in this digital metaverse space. And it's real. Because I'm not able. I picked the gaming circuit to invest in the metaverse.
Right.
Because my pockets is not at a place to be purchasing land in the metaverse.
Right.
But if your pockets are, and you're not getting real estate in the metaverse, and you asleep, man. You are behind the curb.
This Web 3.0 is like, it's warping people's minds. Like so much of the population doesn't even, if they heard Web 3.0, they'd be like, what's that?
Right.
What's that?
Right, yeah. Man. Like we're and so you have to challenge your thought process. So I try to teach people, hey man, we're gonna have to prepare. We're going to have to prepare spiritually. Fact check your soul, because this thing could be about that. Logically, look at look where the economy is right now, man. Get prepared. Have my son's a type 1 diabetic. Luckily, God bless Walmart. They have the insulin now that could be used as an emergency. I have 3 months supply of that.
Nice.
Have an alternative energy backup. Have 3 months supply of everything. That's logical if the economy crashes and this thing resets. And then another aspect is still be bold enough. That's why I told my sons, I want you to see a king, that I'm bold enough to fight tyranny, but I'm also bold enough to invest in the future that you can't touch, taste, feel, hear now.
Yeah.
And this is where the metaverse comes into play, man. I got a list here of, if you're interested, Atari token.
Yep. Seen that one.
Altura, Safe Moon, Australian Shepherd. We're looking at a UFO, and then there's another one. If you want to you go to Swap, you go to a Slope wallet, and when you go to the Slope wallet, what it's going to do is it's going to create a place on there for you to switch to. I want to make sure I call it right. Let me go on here. This game, dude. This game is crazy.
Huh.
Atlas. Star Atlas. I think that's the name of the game. Right now it's like 13 cents a coin.
Wow.
I mean, I'll just play a tidbit for you right here, and you tell me whether or not, this game is going to stay 13 cents. You got the guys in their mom's basement, right? Their moms and the guys in their mom's basement. They got the nice little technical suit up. Millions of these cats playing this video game in this meta space, in this video game landscape.
Yeah.
And
would that be like on an Oculus headset, that like digital, like they feel like they're there type thing?
Possibly.
Yeah.
I even think the headsets are old school.
Right.
Because most people like me, if you put me one of them headsets, man, my head's gonna be swimming.
Yeah.
I think it's a possibility, dude. You have glasses or something.
Yeah.
You have glasses. My bad. Thank you. You have glasses, and you, everything should visual. Like I'm looking at you, but I'm also checking out all my other stuff going on behind you. Right, man. And it'll speed up so fast. So I feel like one person could be hopeful. But if you have any attachments to this, I call it Rockefeller's Matrix.
You can be in real trouble,
bruh. And I'm talking about in every aspect.
Yeah.
Like what you could be doing, even in like the real estate landscape, if you have your own business or whatever, what you could be doing is limitless.
Yep.
Limitless.
I wonder what the real estate commissions are going to be in the old metaverse.
Oh yeah, I mean, like, I wonder about that. So they know that type of possibilities is tremendous, and they want to control it.
Yeah,
they want to control that. But I think I really do. I'm as hopeful as I've ever been.
Every situation leads to opportunity.
Yeah,
if you're prepared is the key.
Absolutely. I think like this is the greatest wealth transfer.
Yeah.
I see businesses right now, man, I'm licking my lips when my cryptocurrencies do what I know they're going to do. Oh my gosh, dude. Like businesses, like God bless the baby boomers. I love y'all. But the reason they're calling it the greatest wealth transfer is your mindset and your money. How do you make their business thrive in this new quantum system?
Mm.
And those who can grasp that and have the insight will be those that thrive. Mm. And those who are basing all their ideologies on old principles that are moved too slow. I want to say this. Character stays the same. You're going to get business if you're respectful. You're going to get business if you are kind, if you back your word, etc. But at the same time, you have to be able to morph those cores to a new thought process that makes, this.
You have to go where the attention is.
Like in your video, man, I was like, yeah, that's what kind of renters I want.
Yeah.
Like how did he spin this video and he got all these good, he's talking about like that. Most times you don't leave a place like that and then the renters take care of the house the way that they took care of that place.
Yeah.
And then how do you spin all of that? I think it's very beautiful. It's an exciting time to be alive, but at the same time, man, humanity is in danger. We're in danger of being, even America, in a social credit score system.
Yep.
Where they want to dictate everything.
So we really feel like the republic's on the line.
Oh, it is.
It is.
It is. We're going to have to we're going to have to stand up and speak out, even if people, think you crazy. You have to investigate. And so I've had this ability to be able to piece together everything that I've seen and everything that's happened in my life, to give people a heads up. God bless, if we was to see hyperinflation. Mm-hmm. Right now, in California, there's you walk into a store. I think they're putting the prices on candy bars like $1,800 and stuff. That way you could be held accountable if you actually stole some. They're walking in the stores just taking everything,
Wow.
And there's nothing so hyperinflation.
Oh yeah, because didn't the chief of police or something in LA say we can't come to rescue you or something crazy like that?
Yeah, man. So when you see stuff like that, my advice, as a light worker, and if I can, I don't want to say dumb it down, if I can really simplicate it, I want you to put yourself as a kid in a store, and you shouldn't steal that candy. You shouldn't steal it. There's a voice inside of you that speaks. And that's the voice you're going to need to listen to. And that's the voice that humanity needs to adhere to. Because the narrative on both sides of the court right now is controlled. And there's a reason why human trafficking, and you have the most important case in history.
I mean, R. Kelly got more pub than this.
All quiet.
Unbelievable.
All controlled.
Unbelievable.
And something else I want to shed light with. Let's just say you have a game plan, man. Let's say you have a game plan, and you go to the bank, and you say, you know what? I need a $18,000 loan. $18,000 loan, man. I'm ready to set the world on fire. I got this game plan, this portfolio. Check it out. They're like, no, but you can go to school
for $100,000.
$100,000. And once again, that's not my words.
Yep.
Elon said the same thing.
Yep.
Okay, so it's an exciting time for humanity, but it's a frightening time.
It is. I wanted to get more in depth on Fauci, and we'll do that next time because I think you could talk an hour about what Fauci's role in all of this. The lead up, the pushing you into like thinking you're going to have these freedoms and then them taking the freedoms away. I think that's going to be good content for our next show.
I think I'll say this by March. I don't know if he what he's saying right now. Donnie, I think Dr. Oz is already saying, yo, this dude, man, he's lied to the American people.
He should be put in for crimes against humanity at this point.
Right. But also there's pictures where Dr. Oz, he's linked up with Marie Petrovich or whatever her name is. Yeah. So absolutely. I think the American people, I think Fauci he's already done it himself. Yeah. It's done. So I think it fizzles.
I want to know how he survived so many administrations. How's he played the power game to be in that role, in that spot, to do what he done. Like, I want to get in depth on him with you on the next one.
Well, the way I see it is, his last name means sickle.
Ugh.
And I was having a conversation with a guy, and he was telling me about. I'll get spiritual really quick. He was telling me about the rapture, God coming back, et cetera, and I was like, Jim Jones convinced 900 people to drink Kool-Aid.
Yep.
And I'm not gonna go anywhere deep conversation with this. Use your own brain. How many billions listened to that cat? How many billions took him for his word? It's a whole different conversation when you're looking at a new landscape, and then that he's tied with the World Economic Forum. He's tied to it all.
Yeah. And
his mission and his thought process is sinister. We know what he was doing with animals. We know. The world wanted Michael Vick's head on a spike for fighting dogs.
Yep.
And we're going to look the other way when the man who's telling the entire world to take this and take that is telling you what to do. And they're showing you. They're proving, like his own, like the people at the NIH came and said, hey, this guy, he's lying. And we still want to look the other way because we want to believe this narrative of Rockefeller's Matrix. Man.
How has he gotten away with all this stuff is wild beyond belief. It's crazy.
Oh, I don't even see how anyone, and I tell you what, man, I'm a judge. Like there's something that comes with this awakening of mine.
Yeah.
Is me feeling how I feel when I'm around certain people.
Yeah.
Like I can almost tell you what you're thinking. I can feel it.
Yeah.
And when he speaks, the hair on the back of my neck stands up.
Yeah.
Because once again, let me repeat this. Jim Jones, 900 people, drank the Kool-Aid.
After he said double mask, I was done. I couldn't.
Right.
I couldn't. I mean, one mask was enough. You know, lining up for vaccinations was one thing. But to put two masks on when the box says does not stop infectious diseases, this was beyond like logic to me.
Right. But once again, when you're believing in that narrative that things are going to return to normal, and then if you go watch World Economic Forum,
yep,
you'll see how many people live on the earth? Billions.
Yeah.
And there'll be like 2,000 people watching it. Because we don't pay attention to important things.
Right.
But you can go watch all these World Economic Forum. You can sit there and listen to Carl Schwab tell you you're not going to own anything and you're going to like it.
Yeah.
And we don't care what we got to do to get there.
We're getting there.
They are telling you.
Yeah.
But what they didn't predict. And I think a lot of what we're seeing on TV, when I say this, I'm closing, a lot of what you're seeing is smoke and mirrors. Is that person really there? Is that an actor? Is that just someone filling in? Because I believe that it's a potential, and I could be wrong, that our military is controlling things. I feel that they're just letting them sink. It's just coming out one after each. I mean, when you tell everybody you're coming door to door, but then you don't. When you say, "Hey, you're going to do this," like Hitler beat the podium and made statements about what he will do. This is America. We don't just bow to you're saying, "Hey, no, you work for us." That's how I see it.
We the people, right?
That's how I see it.
Those people represent us, not the other way around.
Right. And I'm an independent man. So, I don't know if there's much hope for Washington, D.C. Yeah. I think when this is all settled and done, it's going to be an eye-opener.
Yeah.
Like never before. So we just got to be vigilant. Take advantage of these potential possibilities. Remember that God's currency is a strong currency. It has survived for thousands of years. It's called gold and silver. I'm going to tell you from my perspective, and I want to share that really quick. I want to share a company that is, if you're a young investor or something and you're looking into making some moves in the precious metal circuit, let me give this to y'all really quick. It's called SILJ. This is a silver ETF, silver mining. Okay, I'm only telling you what some of the billionaires are saying. Yeah. Okay, or not saying, doing.
Right.
Okay, they're moving their portfolio. How many shares did Elon sell of his company? His core base.
Right. Bill Gates sold off Microsoft. I mean, when Bill Gates is selling off Microsoft, what's that say?
Okay, but this new, even if you look at the initiative, the green initiative of electric vehicle cars, okay, this is where I'm going to make investments on semiconductors. We're looking at lithium.
Yeah.
We're looking at the batteries. We're looking at the ingredients of an electric vehicle. You know, maybe you're not able to buy all of the electric vehicle like Tesla or whatever,
Right.
but you could buy the guts. On semiconductors are a good investment, but it's going to still need silver. It's still going to need silver, man. It'll need silver to control all of those electric vehicles, cars, etc. So if you're old school and like, man, I ain't fooling no crypto, well, God's currency is pretty good to bet on. It's actually, silver's being suppressed right now. Everything's being suppressed.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm kind of hopeful that they're going to swing this thing simultaneously, because I don't want to be right. I don't want hyperinflation to come. Yeah. But it can.
And it's looking like it.
That could be detrimental.
Yeah.
If it was to swing, it could be detrimental.
Yeah.
So, you know, my voice as a light worker is to enlighten, to shed light on darkness, and say, hey, look at that. I want you to just look at it, and you decide for yourself. You decide whether you can have faith in Fauci.
No thanks.
He makes my hair on the back of my neck stand up. But if you can listen to this cat, just do a replay. There's plenty of videos out there of where he started telling the world what to do, and all you see is inconsistency and lies.
Yep.
That's all that you see.
That's all you see.
And that God voice.
Let's thank a guy like Rand Paul, right? Yeah, Rand Paul for exposing him, and arguing with him and debating with him in front of a camera to expose him for what he is.
Hey, that's why I say I feel the white hats has won.
Yeah.
We're seeing like a pantomime, it just play out.
Yeah.
Like each day, man, it's not even each week.
Yeah.
Like we've had more events in the month of November than some of us have seen in his entire lifespan.
Right.
And if you're in this world of Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, CNN, Fox, MSNBC, you have no clue.
Yeah.
You have no clue. It's like you are in this bubble of a false reality and don't even know. Like the person was like, "Oh, Reggie, you just gotta be a solid source." I was like, "They're owned by Vanguard and BlackRock. You do understand it, right?" So everything that's coming out of their mouth is an order.
That's sad.
Yeah, and then when they get you, and then we're talking about Epstein's Island. Let's say you get to a pinnacle of success. Let's say you get into politics and you want to do what's right. They're going to find your weakness, man. And they're going to suck you in. They're going to videotape it, hang it over your head. How do we have faith in that there's something has to be in all of our politics? Like, this is why I'm an independent. Half Republicans are playing the role. You got to read the book, Art of War. Half of them are really Democrats in disguise. And it's so corrupt. And the reason why it's like that is humanity has to say no to 3,000 families, not 3,000 families, 3,000 members of these elite families who feel they're God and can control and do whatever to humanity. It's that. Get the governments, get politics, and this is how humanity really loves each other. When they realize that we've been under the heel, 1984, George Orwell's book. Yeah. If you want to picture the future, just a boot to the face nonstop. Yeah. If humanity can look and say, it's not the Chinese government. It's not the Russian government. It's George Soros.
Yeah.
It's the Rothschilds. We can be free at a rate that we've never could imagine.
Right.
man, let's go back to that narrative, man. If you were caught in that world of, I had shared a video and it accidentally went to Facebook, my Facebook, and I don't even have, I've never been on Facebook in months.
Yeah.
I just share something every now and then, and I'm going to close on this. The person was like, where'd you see that? He's like, where did you see that? Because it accidentally went to Facebook. And they immediately shut it off. Immediately. So you're trapped. I would speak to all the people in the world that hears this video. If you are not awake, you're trapped in a world where they're dictating every narrative that you believe, whether that's religion, your favorite sports team, your people you idolize, music, it doesn't matter. They have infiltrated every section. And I think when I hear Donald Trump say it's a swamp, I'm talking about underground cities, things that your brain couldn't probably comprehend. I know it goes too deep for me, right. So I can't go all there. But I'm just telling you, and I believe it's lost. I believe God has won this, and I believe we're seeing it all play out, man.
I'm going to enjoy watching this win then,
Yeah,
and talking about it and reporting on it along the way.
Right, but what you're doing right now is so huge. It is so huge because it might be one person sees your video, Scott, and they be like, "Oh, man, I'm gonna fact check this dude. I'm looking into some of the stuff Reggie's talking about."
Yeah,
and then they develop their own passion, and they're like, "Yo, people need to know this." They might have a different perspective or whatever,
and then it goes and goes and goes.
Just mushrooms.
Yeah,
and humanity loves each other. I can love the Chinese. I can love the Zimbabweans. I can love the Australians. I can love the Irish people. I can love the South American people. When I know that they're not my enemy, it's really the Rothschilds that's dictating everything.
Yeah.
So we can love each other. This is how we win.
Right.
That's what it's going to take. What we're doing right now is loving each other, and I will end on that. There's no greater way to conquer than to do it with love. And I'm optimistic, but I also prepare my heart for aspects of things that I have to accept.
Yep.
I have to accept billions drunk Kool-Aid.
That's true.
Now is that because there's stuff that comes out that says that some things are just salt water, etc. And there's some other stuff the mRNA does not work well with the. So I can't ignore thousands of frontline doctors.
Yeah.
For Fauci.
Yeah.
But can you see if you're in this bubble, you hear Gates, Biden, the CDC lady, and Fauci. That's it. That's all you hear. You don't get to hear a different perspective. Any different perspective is said, fact checked, debunked, or conspiracy theory.
We had a guest on, and her husband got fired for writing too much ivermectin here locally.
Wow.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
There you go.
And it's hitting home. It's hitting home. The frontline doctors want to write stuff that actually works, and the powers above actually let him go. So
let's give a big whoop whoop to the frontline doctors, man. Yeah. I got to listen to them.
Yeah.
I got to listen to the frontline scientists who are willing to say, hey, let's look at this.
Yeah.
People losing their practices and stuff because why? What will make a doctor do that? That same voice that says, hey, man, you can't do this. This is not right.
Yep.
And that's why I say God's won. And I'll end on that.
Boom. Thanks, man.
All right, bro.
Appreciate you
for having me on.
Couple weeks, bring you back.
Oh, yeah,
I got some big plans for Reggie here, so stay tuned.
Hey, let's go.
And, man, I appreciate you. Merry Christmas, bro.
Yeah, Merry Christmas to everyone.
Yeah.
Much love.
Thanks for watching.